State and NGO leaders were gathered with one clear purpose in mind: finding solutions to the desperate humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Emmanuel Macron began by joining the growing number of European leaders calling for a ceasefire to allow aid to enter the Strip. French government officials behind the scenes have said that the change in language is in response to the now urgent situation on the ground.
Today the situation is bad and getting worse. In the very short term, we must work to protect civilians. For this, we need a humanitarian pause quickly, and we must work towards a ceasefire.
Have been ramping up the pressure on Israel to allow for pauses in the violence. The US says Israel will now formally allow for 4-hour pauses every day. President Macron gathered representatives from a dozen countries, including the Palestinian Prime Minister and more than 50 NGOs, in the hopes of finding practical solutions to that humanitarian disaster. Cyprus's president presented his country's plan for a maritime corridor of aid to Gaza, saying that ships could deliver supplies to a landing point in the southwestern part of the territory. One of the NGOs at the conference, the Norwegian Refugee, called the collective punishment of Gaza, leading to an appalling loss of innocent lives. While Israel appears to have heeded calls for humanitarian temporary pauses, critics say the Paris Peace Forum and President Macron's call for a ceasefire are liable to be ignored. Israel was not invited to the conference and the United States was not represented, two key players in this conflict. Nevertheless, President Macron, European leaders and their calls for humanitarian pauses may have contributed to much-needed respite on the streets of Gaza. Cadier, SABC News, Paris.